Alright, round 2 of our holiday slash vintage cube, looking to Emrakul people. Alright, no blue mana for our thirst, so hopefully we draw into some. But we do have elves, which means if we draw Liliana or something, this hand just all of a sudden becomes insane with the turn 2 Liliana. So let's just forest into elves, pass the turn, and hope we draw into some action. Basic Plains. Kozilek, that's a ways off. Also wouldn't mind just drawing blue mana to be able to cast this Thirst. We'll play Tamp Stopping Ground for now. Our opponent might be blue-white control. Ooh, a Jace. Pretty good. Well, more lands is not exactly what we were hoping for. Gonna have to be aware of our opponent having counter spells, potentially. Pitches an island with the Jace. Isolated Chapel, so maybe Esper control? Well, Elvish Mystic, not exactly what we wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're up to 6 mana, but we don't really have anything to do with it. Opponent passes. Oh, mana troubles. Blocks with Jace. Now they get to loot with Jace. Pitches a Flicker Wisp. Huh. Loots with Jace. Ooh, Glenelendra Archmage. That's pretty annoying. Stops all of our non-creature spells, and that Jace is going to flip pretty soon. Well, Courser is a creature at least. Wooded Foothills. Gains a life. I guess we pass. We might crack this Wooded Foothills for a Trop and make our opponent sack the Archmage if they want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're actually pretty close to casting this Kozilek. I guess that would be another possibility, is just wait, draw the land, and try to cast Kozilek. Opponent pitches a Mana Tithe. Because even if they counter Kozilek, at least it draws us cards. Gonna go with Banishing Light, I'm assuming to hit our Courser. Well, in that case, we're definitely going to crack this for a Trop and make our opponent use their 1 blue mana to counter this Thirst if they want to. Oh my god, all lands. Alright, well, we'll pitch 2 forests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, play the island. Play the Gruul Signet. Pass the turn. So I guess next turn we cast this Kozilek and hope for the best. We shouldn't be drawing too many more lands. They can't counter it with the Glenelendra. They can flip the Jace here if they want to. Manowar. Going to bounce one of our elves, I assume. Well, that doesn't keep us from casting Kozilek. Flips the Jace, discarding Chrome Mox, Swamp, pumps up the Jace, Glenelendra gets in for 2. Alright, well, we slam this Kozilek even if they counter it, at least we get to draw cards. Draw 4. Shouldn't be too many lands in there. Hopefully this is good. Ooh. Alright, we got some action. And it resolves. Hopefully our opponent can't gain control of it. That would be pretty bad. And Jace, the ultimate isn't too scary because we have the Emrakul in our deck. So we can keep shuffling that in. Utter End gets rid of Kozilek. Alright. Pumps up the Jace. Is it Signet? Well, let's lead on Imperial Seal. Is there anything good to get back from our graveyard? Thirst, I guess. And Regrowth. Could take Maelstrom Pulse to go after the Jace. Strip Mine is also pretty sweet. Maybe we take Strip Mine. I think that's what we need. Strip Mine. This is to set us up for the future. Then we can Simic Signet. Play Izzet Signet. Play Deathrite Shaman. Play Ponder. So I think we Emrakul, Strip Mine, Wall of Roots, no shuffle. Then we play Wall of Roots, Elvish Mystic, and pass the turn. Ooh, our opponent drew another blue source. That's not good. Let's see what our opponent does with Jace. They could flashback the Utter End if they really wanted to. Maybe you should have left Emrakul as the next card, because we could actually hardcast it. Alright, pumps up the Jace. Jace getting close to ultimate, but not quite there. I think we just play Strip Mine and pass the turn. Ancient Tomb for our opponent. Ooh. Venser. Alright. Venser's good, but not beating Emrakul good, I don't think. They needed like a Wrath or something. Alright, get in with Glenelendra. Doesn't get in with Glenelendra. Just passes. Alright, pumps up the Jace. Going to flicker an island. Well, let's use Deathrite to exile Flicker Wisp. Gain some life. And then untap, draw Emrakul. Tap a ton of things. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're actually going to hardcast Emrakul, which is kind of crazy. I didn't really expect our deck to be able to do that. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 Emrakul, the Eon's Torn. And we get to take another turn as a result. Our opponent has Cryptic, but unfortunately for our opponent, that taps them out. So it's not going to do what they were hoping. Unless they have Force of Will plus blue card. Oh, this is going to get crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because since they are tapped out, we get to Upheaval. Actually, no. Did we use this? Alright, use our wall. Upheaval. Alright, we get our Courser back. And we get to, let's see, play a land, maybe. Play a land, gain a life. Could have played the one off the top, I guess. And we play a Signet. Play a Signet. Play a Signet. Play Wall of Roots. Play Elvish Mystic. And play, I guess, Deathrite. So that was a good turn. And then we pass. And we're going to discard a bunch of lands. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're just going to discard a bunch of lands. And then discard this Emrakul to shuffle everything back in. And get rid of that temple. Alright, so good turn. Upheaval's busted. We got our opponent to tap out, and now they lose. They had to tap out to stop the Emrakul, so I can't blame them, but there's no coming back from this. And I think we can actually Maelstrom Pulse. Our opponent's going to dismember, okay. But I think we can Pattern of Rebirth and Maelstrom Pulse, whatever we pattern, to get our Emrakul again. And that should definitely do it. So Pattern's actually going to pay off. That card is hard to make work, but I think we're going to make it work. We've clearly seen the power of Upheaval. It's really insane. Our opponent put up a good fight with that Glenelender Archmage. Good to be aware of the Mana Tithe. That could get us if we're not careful. Alright, now we just play a land. Play Elves of Deep Shadow. Pattern of Rebirth, the Elves of Deep Shadow. Exile a land, add black mana. Maelstrom Pulse, Elves of Deep Shadow. When it dies, we get the Pattern of Rebirth. Let's just search our library for a creature, put it into play. Kind of the hard way to do it, but it still ends up with an Emrakul on the battlefield. Yes, we'll use ability. Yes, we'll get an Emrakul. And that should be good evening for our opponent. Ooh, balance. Spicy. That's pretty good. Our opponent is putting up quite the fight. Was not expecting balance. So basically, we have to sack all of our creatures. No one sacks any lands. and our opponent will have to discard 2 cards. And all of our stuff will shuffle back in again, and then the game kind of has restarted, except we still have way more mana than our opponent, which should mean we win still. Alright, everything shuffles back in. Alright, we're going to strip mine and hit the island. Keep our opponent off of Jace, perhaps. How many lands are in the graveyard for them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they do get their Jace, and they will get to flip the Jace. Alright, through the breach. We gotta draw a fatty. So we have all of our... What are we missing? Oh, the Kozilek's exiled. So we just have Emrakul left, actually. Our opponent loots. There's going to be a question as to whether they can win before they deck themselves. They're down to 13 cards, and we have 28. And Jace's ultimate isn't that scary. They didn't even activate the Jace. Alright, tap Stomping Ground, pass the turn. I guess Venser is scary if they have enough lands to just get up and play Venser. And we just draw nothing. Well, there's Venser. We might actually lose this. It is possible that we lose this game now. It's also possible that we draw an Emrakul and just win. But a Venser Emblem is pretty good. Blinks a land. Come on, let's draw something. No more lands. Oh my god. More lands, unfortunately. Opponent has a dig through time. That's a little risky because it puts them even lower on cards. Unless they have a way to shuffle their library back in, they still have to actually beat us. Wow, I can't believe this somehow has went wrong. I thought we had this locked up. We've had Emrakul on the battlefield twice. And we're in danger of losing to a Venser Emblem. To be fair, we have drawn incredibly poorly. We've drawn, I don't even know how many lands in a row. A ton. Well, Primeval Titan's a card. Does it resolve is a good question. It does. Alright. We will get a Wooded Foothills to thin our deck and a Temple of Malady for the Scry. Definitely do not want to draw that forest. Thing is, our opponent can just flashback something with Jace to kill Primeval Titan. And they're getting close to the Venser Emblem. Still, they're going to need a threat that actually kills us. And we shouldn't be drawing too many more lands. We have 1 on the bottom of our deck, 8 on the battlefield, so that's 9, 10, 11 in our hand, 12. So there's 5 lands left in the next 22 cards. Ooh, that's a way to kill us. That's pretty bad. I think our opponent didn't realize that you can tick up Jace even when when there's no creatures. Deathrite Shaman, not great. We gotta draw the Emrakul, and we gotta draw it soon. Gets the Venser Emblem. So whenever they cast a spell, they can exile a permanent. Ashiok. Ooh, that could be bad. Exiles Deathrite. If they hit our Emrakul with Ashiok, then we're in real trouble. What is exiled? Verdant Catacombs, Forest, and Liliana. Alright, that's not what we were worried about. Opponent gets to attack with Prime Time. We need to resolve an upheaval or draw an Emrakul. Those are the two cards that matter. That is not one of them. Alright, play the forest, ship the turn. If they have a counter, this doesn't matter either. Man, we're going to drop to 1. Alright. They haven't hit either one. We still have both. Do they have a counter? That is another question. Gets in with prime time, puts us to 1. So, Emrakul, upheaval, Emrakul! Oh, alright, is there a counter? Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, we can't hardcast, so we gotta try it. Do they have a counter? We drew it at the perfect time. It's either going to be an amazing win or a horrible loss. Through the breach. Do you got a counter? Alright. Do they have a way to exile our Emrakul? Attacks. Can they exile it with the emblem? Do they have an instant? Yes! Oh my god. Oh, we had to get Emrakul on the battlefield 3 times. 3 different times. And we drew it at the last possible second at 1 life. Oh my god. That was one of the best wins ever. Oh, that was so sweet. Whew. That makes me feel a lot better, because now we just got to steal 1 more of these next 2. Is there anything we can bring in that's good against our opponent? Might want Eureka. Although, that's not a guaranteed win. Song of the Dryad is a way to deal with a Planeswalker, so I'll probably bring that in. Maybe get rid of Pattern of Rebirth. Seems like a risky way to go about this. I don't think Bribery's going to do it. Master dies to the Wraths. Ancient Grudge, Moat. Yeah, I don't think Bribery is worth it. It's all about the Planeswalkers. We do want to make sure we can pressure an Ashiok. Just sometimes a turn 3 Ashiok can be hard to beat. This is a reasonable hand. We don't have a fetch land, so we can't play the turn 3 or turn 2 Courser, but we can play a Deathrite, and at least that's something we can attack with if our opponent plays an Ashiok. And we could draw one of our fetch lands, or our opponent could play a fetch land. Ooh, Library. Library is pretty powerful. Alright, that's not a fetch land, so we'll just play a Forest. Get in with Deathrite. So our opponent's probably going to start drawing cards with Library. So Library can draw a card if you have exactly 7 cards. So they need to like tap it now before they do anything. And they just get to draw a card for free. But they decide not to use the Library for some weird reason. They must have Ashiok. There's the Ashiok. That means problems. Exiles Ponder and 2 lands. So order 1 of business is to get Ashiok off the table however we can. So we're going to attack the Ashiok. Play Courser. And pass the turn. Fetchland is going to get exiled, unfortunately, by that Ashiok. Opponent plays another land, so they're ignoring their library and just going all in on Ashiok. They hit lands and an Elves. We do have a couple of spells that can kill Ashiok, too. Unfortunately, we have a land on the top of our library, which isn't great. Dismembers the Courser. Alright, so we attack the Ashiok. Play land. Eternal Witness to get back the Courser. We're trying to fight through it, but we're not getting there very quickly. Oh, they hit the Maelstrom Pulse. That's one of our ways just to kill it. Tamiyo can tap something down. Taps down Eternal Witness. Well, let's play the Courser, see what's on top of our deck. Wooded Foothills. And, well, I guess we just hit the Ashiok. It is getting us pretty low on cards, though, unfortunately. We'll leave the Forest so it gets exiled by Ashiok. Pumps it up. Ugh, hits another one of our outs. Plains. Venser. Planeswalkers all around. The big problem is we're down to 15 cards in our library. Taps down the Courser. Blinks Isolated Chapel. Well, we gotta shuffle away the Simic Signet, I think. Wouldn't mind Through the Breach. Oh my god, we shuffled right back to Simic Signet. Well, we can exile Wooded Foothill, add a green mana, play a Primeval Titan, search out a couple lands, Strip Mine and Temple. Gain a couple life. We're going to leave the island on top. Play a Swamp. Attack the Ashiok. What's our opponent have? We gotta get rid of that Ashiok. There goes our Through the Breach. Taps down Primeval Titan. I think we're dead. We're gonna die to that turn 3 Ashiok. That won't happen as often when we're on the play, fortunately. Blinks an island. Opponent's gonna Cryptic to tap our creatures and draw a card. Well, I guess we can exile this Dismember to make our opponent lose life. Is there any way we can win? Well, let's Thirst for Knowledge. Discard 2 cards. Simic Signet. No. Liliana the Veil and Simic Signet. Then we play a Gruul Signet. Play a Simic Signet. So basically our out is our opponent's going to put us down to nothing, like 1 card in our deck. But our out is resolving this Upheaval. if we can resolve Upheaval, all of a sudden we have a chance at winning. So the question will be if our opponent has a counter. So they exile. We are down to 1 card. We're going to draw our last card. Control Magic on our Primeval Titan. That actually is good for us. They only have 1 blue mana and we can strip mine it. They draw a card. We might be getting here because our opponent has played really awkwardly. Getting there. They're going to blink a blue source. Well, we will see. We draw Imperial Seal. Doesn't do much. We get to strip mine the Underground Sea. Then we can exile the Underground Sea. Add blue. And see if they have a counter. Upheaval. Do you got a counter? Oh, we survived. Oh my god. I think we're going to win now. Somehow. Oh, all this craziness. We can play a land, right? Play a land. Play a Signet. We want to make sure we can shuffle some stuff back in. Play a Signet. Play a Deathrite Shaman. And then we pass. And this lets us discard Eternal Witness, Temple of Malady, Emrakul, a Forest, and Kozilek, and shuffle things back in. So all of a sudden, oh my goodness, this is one of the craziest matches I've ever played. Seriously, I've never played a match this insane. And now I think we're good to go. We have 10 cards in our library. 2 of them are Eldrazi's. Our opponent is going to get to play that Ashiok again, but not for a couple turns. And they have to discard a bunch of things, which means we're going to be able to exile them with our Deathrite. And at some point, we'll be able to Upheaval again, because we can Imperial Seal for it, and then Upheaval. We draw Eternal Witness, doesn't do anything right now, so we are just going to exile a land. Play Courser. Kozilek on top. Play a land, gain a life, pass the turn. Opponent draws with their library. So I think we want to attack with Courser. Exile a land. Play Primeval Titan. Search Outlands, Strip Mine, and Temple. Gain a couple life. Now if they just slam an Ashiok, we get to immediately kill it with Primeval Titan. And more importantly, our opponent's down to 3 minutes, and this is only game 2, and we're still at 8 minutes. So even if our opponent somehow pulls out this game, which is unlikely at this point, we'll still win, because they will run out of time before they can complete game 3. And we get to draw the Thirst, which is excellent, because that means we can discard this Kozilek to shuffle back in if we ever need to. I wouldn't be surprised if they just scooped here shortly. Liliana. Let's see. Well, let's attack. Not going to search with Primeval Titan. Then we can strip mine our opponent to kill an island. Oh, they're going to dig? Well, actually, what we can do now is we can Eternal Witness to get back the strip mine and kill their other island, and then they won't even be able to cast an Ashiok next turn, and then we should be able to just win with Primeval Titan. Unless our opponent can find like a balance or something. So the double strip mine should be pretty good here. Alright, so we strip mine the island. Play Eternal Witness. Get back the strip mine. Play the strip mine. Gain a life. Strip mine the other island. And then I guess we just pass the turn. And our opponent needs untap white source balance or sweet. Whoo! Wow, those were the 2 closest games I maybe have ever played. Seriously. Oh my gosh. Game 1, we were down to 1 life. Our opponent had lethal threats. We had 2 and 15 shot, and we drew the Emrakul to win. And then in this game, we were down to 0 cards in our library when we managed to force through an upheaval, discard an Eldrazi, shuffle everything back in, and refill our library to like 10 cards. So what a crazy match. Oh my god. Alright, we'll be back with match 3, see if we can actually finish first in this pod.